Abdul Faisal, what a terrific young kid or young man. And he's had a stellar start to his A-League career, and we're delighted he's here.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're saying that, because it's an important part of what we do here at the Mariners is we recruit good people as well, and he's certainly that. He's a really good young man, wanting to learn, wanting to get better, and he's not a bad footballer as well, so that bodes well for us.
Yeah, geez, I tell you, his goals, he told us the story about, he asked to take the pen, nails it, then scores his first goal for Perth, top right-hand corner. Just great to watch. Speed, skill, great on the ball as well. Yeah,
that's what we highlighted when we brought him in, and he's had 2 good impacts now from the bench, which is positive. He's learning all the time. We have to spend time with players when they first come in and get them up to speed with what we want them to do. In possession and out of possession, we have a certain way of playing. So he's understanding that more and more every day. And like I said, he's had 2 good impacts from the bench, and he's a player like all the other players who'll be pushing for a start.
He also said just a moment ago that he felt like 3 points was there, but to come away against one of the form teams of the comp with a point, how do you reflect on it?
Yeah, I reflected after the game, and ultimately, and as a group, we felt a bit deflated. Immediately after the game, because when you're holding a lead like that, you want to kind of see it through. We didn't. We know that Western were a form team and a good team as well. Let's be clear on that. They're a really good team, and they've been playing well this season, and it's a difficult place to go. But yeah, there was that kind of edge of disappointment within the group, but we come away from that quickly today, where we're going to be reviewing the game this morning, and then after training previewing Newcastle, because it's a quick turnaround. But as always, we stick to what we do in our process of trying to get better all the time, and we're really looking forward to the derby against Newcastle, and we'll be ready to go.
That was going to be my first question. Has it been all about recovery, and how have you gone about that?
Yeah. Myself and Danny Schofield didn't travel back with the team. We stayed in Melbourne, and we had the privilege of going to visit Craig Bellamy at Melbourne Storm. So that was a fantastic day for us, and a really insightful day. And I thank them massively, Craig and his staff and the club as well, for welcoming us into their inner sanctum, really. So we learnt a lot from that. But yeah, the players got up in the morning, they do as they always do, and get the breakfast and travel back. But yeah, it's all about recovery today. It's about preparing the boys. We'll do a lot of video today to look and review the game and preview the game, like I said, and it'll be minimal work on the pitch for those starting players, a little bit more work for the lads who didn't start, so they're ready. But yeah, that's what it's about now, recovery, but reflecting and learning and planning as well.
What did you learn? What are a few takeaways from the master coach, Craig Bellamy?
Oh, listen, it's too much to go through in an interview now. I had my notebook with me, myself and Danny, and like I said, we're in a privileged position where we could go and visit such a head coach and an organisation as well. Yeah, we'll have to decipher our notes really and go through it. But one thing we did say was, what did stand out was the culture of the place. That high performing mindset, that high performing environment, and yeah, just the wonderful culture which you could feel as soon as you walked in their building. So yeah, we as 2 coaches, as a manager and a coach, myself and Danny, we felt very privileged to be able to be in that environment and chat to those people.
Yeah, I tell you, he would have loved meeting you too, and I tell you, a similarity between both of you is that at the Melbourne Storm, for over a decade, there's a high turnover of players. They lose some absolute superstars, but they still, a lot of the times, they'll win the minor premiership and they'll play finals football, and sometimes they'll go on to win the premiership. And it's similar to what happens here, right? Yeah,
I think so. And he's been in that position for a long time, and like I said, really high performing environment, really high level coach, and he's had sustained success over a long period of time. So any little things I can try and learn from a person like that is going to be valuable for me as an individual. But like I said, we have our own organisation here, and that's what we want to do. We know we have a turnover of players. I mentioned that after the game. Somebody asked me that question directly after the game, and we know what happens here. We're not using it as an excuse, but we have to be ready to keep that success coming. And at this stage of the season, we need wins on the board to move us up the table. But we're fully aware that we're still in touching distance of that top 6, and that's our target for this year.
There were signs against Western where you're thinking, this is the Mariners of last season, some of the ball movement, and I mentioned about, that quick transition like Hayne Eames. What vision to set up the second goal?
Yeah, I think so. And listen, I've challenged the team to be better in that area of the field, in the attacking transitions and the final third as well. And we were really pleased with the second goal as regards to the transition thought process to play forward with that quality. Also Nathan Paul to make the run, as a centre back playing in that position, to make that dynamic forward run, and then to have the quality and technique to execute that cross. And then we're talking about our box positions, how we need to get in the box and then have that composure in front of goal. So that was something we want to see more of. And even the first goal, we talk about the ball going directly into the goal, but we work a lot, and Josh Rose puts a lot of emphasis on set plays with the players and spends a lot of time with them, and we talk a lot about the quality of our delivery, and Mikel Docker has got that quality. And we always say, put it into an area, if no one touches the ball it should go in at the far stick, and that's exactly what happened. So it wasn't luck, it was well thought out. Yes, we want to get touches on that ball, but if no one touches the ball, we want it to go into the back post, and it did.
Just talking to Abdul a moment ago, I love kind of the fire in his eyes knowing he's about to play a first F3 derby. He said he can even sense it in the dressing room, and it doesn't matter where they are on the table. They've had a tough year, but it's game on tomorrow.
100%, yeah. Listen, I think league table position, form should go out the window or anything like that in a derby. It's passion, it's fight, it's being up for the game, and those fundamentals of what that is. High intensity tackles, aggression and things like that. But within that, we need that composure to play our game. We'll be really kind of firing the boys up, and they'll be firing themselves up to go out and do all those fundamentals. But at the end of the day as well, you need that composure to execute the game plan of what we want to do. So yeah, we're looking at putting all the ingredients in the pot and coming out with 3 points for us, which will hopefully move us up the table.
Any further analysis on the Jets? And this is primarily for our Newcastle viewers.
Listen, they've got a good setup. They've got a way of playing. We've seen that. Rob has done a great job there, and again they're in a similar position to us in the league. So I'm sure he'll be firing his players up and wanting to get those 3 points. We knew, everybody says it's a starting point for us because that's where it kicked us on last year with a victory. We've already played them once this season. It was a really close contest. But what we're going to take into this game is that we're the home team, and we want to try and be on the front foot, even with the amount of travel we've had in the games.